One could not have asked for a better day. Uh, this is one of the bigger areas, and it's really a hit or miss. Reason being is, as you can see, it is flat as a pancake. There's just no trees or anything like that to break off the wind. And so what tends to happen is this is either flat as a glass like it is right now, or there's white caps on this lake, and like 1.5 feet swell. I've already seen a whole bunch of alligators just by unloading the kayak. The goal today is to follow the coastline like I normally do, sightsee and everything. This area here to the left of me is really cool. If you've seen some of my previous videos, I was driving, because there's a whole bunch of lakes further up, but there's a bunch of wildlife like deer and hogs that are camping out between the water line, the wetland line, and the trees, and you know, they jump out in front of you and whatnot. But this is just a perfect habitat because they could come out here, you know, to drink, hide in the shade, and then venture off into the pasture if they so desire. And all of this is a fairly thick herbaceous wetland between here and the trees. A couple changes to mention. I have gotten a package from Boondocks Landing Gear to get me spacers, because when I lifted the bars to fit the Boondocks Landing Gear, it left this ginormous gap. So I contacted the owners, and you know, they recommended that I get the spacers, so at least now it doesn't look so ugly. And secondly, I re-engineered my trolling motor thing, the cassette. I got the replacement when I ordered all the other pieces and parts. And it looks a lot cleaner. It looks a lot more professional looking. It's the silver gray cassette that they offer. And by the way, if you plan to put the trolling motor on your Hobie, just go ahead and order it. It's the difference between this and the other one is night and day, really. It is very thick, and the fact that you're drilling through plastic at first just kind of helps it out a little bit more. As always, we have the resident dolphin alligator off my bow. That's pretty much obligatory nowadays. That is the weirdest thing though, you know, because you always picture alligators being, you know, somewhat of an ambush sort of thing. And this behavior, what he is doing, you know, this is a territorial thing. He is telling me that he is the boss. And the fact that he is showing me his back. Look at that. Look at this guy. And he's big. Woo! Wow. He's big. He was easily an 8-footer. Oh, there he is again. Look at that. And you could actually see by the size of his head just how big he is. It's like a big shovel. And he'll be doing that a whole bunch more times. Now, while all that's happening, look at those guys. Woo! Look at those guys over there. Having the time of their life. Completely oblivious to the fact that there's a big ass alligator here. This guy over there is hunting. That's a big egret. Probably as big as they get. Trying to readjust my camera here on the fly. Everything is rusted with all the humidity that we get here in Florida. Look at that. You definitely see something over there. That's for sure. Look at this guy. Right in front of the kayak. No common sense of decency, too. It's the same exact alligator. And this is definitely not a territorial thing anymore. He's just curious. Because he literally has no reason to be in front of my kayak at all. Like none. Because I'm so far off from where I first seen him, so this is definitely a curiosity kind of thing. Hopefully this is not a case of curiosity killed a Russian kind of thing. Look at that. There's a big one. And he definitely is not afraid, that's for sure. The fact that he's so close, I mean, look how big he is. Wow. Look how big he is. Off up here, we got a cool set of trees. Hopefully he'll get bored and stop following. Perfect little island nook. It's very hard to pass up a very adorable little baby blue heron. At this age, they're a lot more mobile than the adults, that's for sure. But what makes them better, I think, outside of the adorable factor, is they don't let out that horrible screech like adults do. What a spectacular looking bird. You know, somewhere here in this jungle is supposed to be a second ramp, which I almost drove to. And I've been looking in this direction and I just don't see it. Maybe there may have been a ramp here, 20 odd years ago, but everything is overgrown and I'm just not seeing it. Yeah. Well, I'm afraid my excitement of this place. Whoa! Holy crap! Did you guys see it? That is a freaking... Wait a minute. Hopefully the camera got him. He just ran. He was like, yo. Oh my gosh, that was funny. I'm gonna mark my GoPro here for a second. He was sprinting like... Well, I guess it would be because this is the sunny place for them. Afraid my excitement of this place. Whoa! Holy crap! Did you get... But he just ran. I mean, did you see how fast he ran? Afraid my excitement of this place. Whoa! Holy crap! Did you get... And he just ran like nothing, like it was nobody's business. Well, but as I was saying, I guess good thing I turned my camera on, captured it live. There he is off the nose. As you can see by the water, my excitement of the calm as a glass lake has been fairly short-lived. As a matter of fact, this is about the norm for this place. Very unfortunate because it's truly beautiful with the when it's calm. You know, this alligator must be the lake boss. He has escorted me out to the first connection and sat here all this time waiting for me. Just chilling, and then he was blocking off the entrance, and now he is doing this. Look at it. He'll be popping up ahead in just a little bit. Like I said, comes with the grand entrance, as they say. Look at him. I mean, he's big too. Like, his head is just big and thick. I figure if I had to guess, he's probably 20 years old or so. He's not the what you call a big alligator. He is a smaller, I would say maybe 8.5 footer, but very stocky, like very muscular. Don't let this thick vegetation behind me fool you. There's a ton of alligator in it. And as I've been following this little... Oh, here's one. As I've been following this little finger of vegetation, there's just been alligator after alligator after alligator. Mostly small ones, but that's just a perfect habitat for them. And it's also perfect habitat for this guy. Mr. Great Blue Heron is proven to be elusive, but nonetheless he is lurking, as you can see. You know, if my eye wasn't trained to look at stuff like this, by virtue of looking at stuff like this on a regular basis, it would just be impossible. Like, you take your eyes off of him and you have no idea that he's standing right there. You know, you look at something like this up ahead. The tranquility of this place is just destroyed by people on a motorboat. If you guys have seen my video called Patamal, this place reminds me quite a bit of that. The Patamal video obviously wasn't filmed in Venezuela, but it was. It looked exactly like what you would see in Venezuela, minus the anacondas and minus the trip to South America. This area up here looks exactly like it, and it's just amazing how you could find all the cool places that people talk about without really leaving your backyard. It looks like fishermen have finally decided to call it a day. It's just so bizarre. Like, just listen. Right, there's nothing, you know, other than the birds. There's just nothing. And the two are on this little John boat with the engine just plowing through everything, you know, making all sorts of ruckus. And why? Set that thing into trolling mode and just enjoy. And all of this flat is actually floating, and I guess that's the reason why it wasn't on the map. There's some wetland species like that over there that's obviously grown on the ground, and there's a cattail that's not going to be floating about. There's a whipping willow and caldonia, or at least I think that's what it's called. So they are species that are stationary, but the rest of this actually changes with the wind. And so you could come out here at a different time of year and all of this will look completely different. Yep, Mr. Alligator. Like I said, it's a perfect habitat for them. Oh, I know why, because he was perched up here. There's probably a whole bunch of them on this little island. Look at this. Check this out. It's going. It's floating. The wind is pushing it, and it's moving. And that's why this area looks different every time you come to a place like this. It gets pushed this way, and then it gets pushed that way, and look at that. Even has a flower and everything like this. Really pretty purple flower. So that's how you see it, folks. It is moving, and underneath that little patch there's a whole bunch of baby fish who will obviously take advantage of this translocation. You could see it detaching right now as we speak, actually. we have caught up with our Mr. Great Blue Heron, and he may privilege us with there he goes. Oh my gosh, what a beautiful creature. I have a picture of him, well, not this one specifically, but during takeoff and landing, and you could just see every little feather and how delicate it is, and just, it's almost like an airplane. When he takes off, he has multiple layers of feathers doing multiple things. It is the coolest thing. If you look off to the left, there's a couple of really cool ducks. They've been flying just out of reach. Gorgeous, gorgeous creatures. And when they take flight, they look absolutely, just look how cool they are. Oh my gosh, beautiful creatures. I think they're called whistling ducks, if I'm not mistaken. Look at me spooking everybody. As you see, weather has picked up, essentially. Clouds are gathering. We're heading towards our typical where did this come from thunderstorm situation. On that merit, I'm quite happy that I decided to wrap things up.